Hi, everyone. Dr. Patrick McGrath, Chief Clinical Officer here at NOCD. And if you're looking for help for OCD or related conditions, check us out at nocd.com. We'd be happy to assist. Guess what? Mental Health Awareness Month. Woohoo! Always a fun time to celebrate diversities that we experience in our world. And one of those that I don't think we talk about enough is mental health status. So I'm excited to always help bring that to the forefront so that we could talk about what it is like to experience various mental health concerns. And of course, at NOCD, we're very, very concerned about obsessive compulsive disorder. So, with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, we thought this is a great time to dedicate raising awareness and reducing stigma around obsessive compulsive disorders. And as part of our ongoing work to help people understand and access effective treatment for OCD, we wanted to spend some time with you today to talking about OCD. We know there's a lot of misleading stereotypes and media portrayals about OCD, that OCD is only washing your hands or straightening things, or wouldn't it be great to have a little bit of OCD, which always annoys me, and I want to throw a shoe at the TV whenever I see that. But we know from treating OCD, and for those of you who have OCD, that it's not great to have even a little OCD. It's something that we want to go away. And it is unfortunate that people have this notion that OCD can be helpful because we are fully aware of the fact that OCD does nothing but interfere in our lives because OCD doesn't care about you or your friends or your relatives or your classmates. OCD does not have your best interest at heart. OCD cares about itself, and that's all it cares about. So that means even people who are familiar, though, with OCD might miss it in their own lives because it doesn't always look the way they expect. Maybe relationship doubts could be relationship OCD, right? It could be that you keep thinking about things from the past and think, well, maybe I'm just a worrier. But if you're doing compulsions to try to neutralize them or prevent something bad from happening because of it, it might be obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Doesn't fit the hand washing experience, but still OCD. Some OCD symptoms might be invisible, like all the mental compulsions people do, maybe rumination or praying or counting that people do as a way to try to deal with or manage their obsessions. Standard talk therapy is not going to be helpful in these situations. It doesn't really work for OCD. And it's unfortunate that not enough people know about the evidence based treatments that are available, like exposure and response prevention therapy. Talk therapy will probably do things like introduce safety behaviors, diaphragmatic breathing, muscle relaxation. When you have a thought you don't like, replace it with one you do. Snap a rubber band on your wrist every time you have a thought you don't like as a way to punish it out of you. None of those are really helpful for OCD. And in fact, they lead to a sore wrist and more use of safety behaviors. So we want to do something different and make sure people get the right treatment and the right care that they deserve, right? So what's happening with OCD? Well, there's a huge impact on the lives of people who have OCD, right? Tons of mental effort going on. There's doubt, there's shame, there's guilt, there's loneliness. Sometimes we just think of OCD as being anxiety or discomfort, but OCD will grab onto any emotion that it possibly can in order to get somebody to do a compulsion. People will often assume that they're the only one that has it, so they stay silent with it and they live with it, but they're not, right? I didn't write a book about OCD just for one person. I wrote it because these are the things that we see about OCD across the lifespan in people. When you delay the diagnosis for OCD, you prolong suffering with OCD. So we want to be sure that we get that number down. Right now, it's almost 2 decades that people suffer with OCD before they finally get the right diagnosis. We want to see what we can do to change that and make that different. Maybe you even haven't been able to, get effective treatment. Well, the good thing is we at NoCD are trying to do something about that. We do all sorts of things. We have events like the ability to share your story online on the NoCD app in the NoCD community. We run Q&As. I do a Wednesday night webinar every Wednesday night to make sure that people from all over the world can get questions answered. We have our podcast, the Get to Know OCD podcast, and there's resources that are on the app and through our community that we do monthly. Our goal is to educate and be sure that people understand that they are not alone, that there is connection in the community that we have. We don't want you to suffer. In fact, one of our main goals is to end the suffering that OCD brings to the world. So, if you relate to anything that we talked about there, we want you to share this month with us. We want you to explore OCD. Come to our events, come to our Wednesday night webinars, watch the podcast, subscribe to the NOCD YouTube channel. Recognize OCD is treatable, and our team is here to make the first step toward getting help as simple as possible for you. You can book a free call. You can do that through nocd.com. You can do that if you download the NoCD app. Any way that you get to us, please check out our therapists online, see who's available, and know that we have help waiting for you. It's just a call away. We hope to hear from you.